Hello everybody and welcome back to the garden. It's time for second part of the garden tour. I thought we're gonna start from the bottom, from the veggie area and follow the sun. It should be better lighting. So let's go. So I think that should be the best place to start, in a greenhouse. If you've seen any of the previous video, I've just planted out all the sweet peppers. So that's doing well. Same with the corn over there. In the corners, everything surviving. I still have my spare tomato plants. I don't know where to put them. This side of the greenhouse is elephant garlic and my main crop of tomatoes in between. So that's all doing well and growing. Yesterday I split one of my hives, so now I have 3 of them. Those 2 old ones, and hopefully that's going to be the new one. So let's get out of the greenhouse. It's very hot here. Oh, before we go, those are my cucumbers, doing well. 4 pots altogether. The potato pods I can see need watering badly. I'm gonna do that after making this video, but they are doing well. This small weedy area is my leeks and my carrots. I have to go through this whole bed and weed it by hand because I mixed all the carrot and leek seeds so they can grow together. But that's a 15-minute job, it's not that big. Everything is doing really well in the garden. The onions are growing nicely, both beds. So I'm happy to see that. I'm getting lots of volunteer potatoes everywhere. This whole bed from end to end supposed to be the cabbage and brassica bed, but I'm getting those clumps of potatoes over there. I might decide to leave it and grow cabbages around them. That's my flat parsley in one of the self-watering tray spots. As you can see, it's going to flower. That's what I've been waiting for. I'll be able to collect some seeds, but it's self-seeding really every year anyway. All these small ones here on the side is self-seeded. Those are my trays of cabbages, cauliflowers, all the other brassicas. They need to be planted soon. The strawberry bed is doing fantastic this year. It's all flowering, all starting to get the fruits already. I need to put the netting on it, otherwise everything gonna get eaten by birds. But the plants are covered with flowers and fruits. Should be a nice year for strawberries. I stopped harvesting my asparagus. I could probably still pinch a couple of spears. This one is perfectly usable still, but I think I had enough asparagus for a year, so I'm just gonna let it grow now and it can build its strength for the next year. That's 2 more of the potato pods. I ran out of space over there by the greenhouse, so those 2 are gonna stay here. They are flowering already, so it's not long before we get some potatoes from them. I've also noticed I should be getting proper crop of hazelnuts this year. I can see the fruits forming most places. I have 3 bushes, one over there by the onions, one here in the middle, and one over there in a corner. All 3 were grown from the seeds, from the nuts. My raspberry cutting experiment, I would say it's 50-50 success. Some of them have the leaves, looks like they're gonna grow, but half of them, I would say, died. The thing with the raspberries is you have to keep the soil really moist before they grow proper roots. And that's the second raspberry experiment. I don't know if you've seen that video. Hold on, let me back you up. That might be better. I don't know if you've seen the video of me pruning the raspberries. Because this half of the bed, I've pruned the raspberries all the way to the ground. So this is all new shoots, growing well. This half of the bed, I left the raspberries as they were standing. By the way, this is all autumn fruiting raspberries. I forgot the exact name. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. But if you don't prune them and let them continue in the spring, they're going to be summer fruiting raspberries. So I think that's a bit of a scam. Summer and autumn fruiting raspberries. They're already covered with flowers and fruits are forming on the half that I didn't cut. My beetroot bed is doing okay, not fantastic. I got quite a bit of loss from the slugs, I assume, but it's all getting there. The main bed of potatoes is doing well. They're all growing. That's some lettuce on the edge here. So those were the white potatoes, I think. And on that side of the bed were the red potatoes. They are a bit slower than white, always. These beauties here are my carrots that I left. Actually, I forgot I had carrots here in that bed, but I decided to leave them in the ground and wait for the flowers and seeds so I can build up my carrot seed stash, because I'm running out of carrot seeds. The parsnip that I sown on the edge of potato bed are finally growing. It took them ages to germinate. This whole bed needs a bit of weeding. The parsnips took ages to germinate, but finally they're growing. And those, as I said, are the red potatoes. A bit slower than the white ones, but they are getting there. So that's how the veggie plot looks like at the moment. I think it's doing quite well. Also, I didn't show you the grapevine. It's growing nicely. Can't see any flowers yet. The one in a greenhouse have lots of flower clusters, but this one is much later. It's growing outside. The pear tree is doing fantastic. They never disappoint. After heavy pruning in the winter, they are just covered with fruits. That's my daffodil border. There's no more daffodils, but I'm leaving all the plants until they die back on their own, to build up the strength in the bulbs for the next year. But instead of daffodils, I'm getting those lovely irises everywhere. I do like this border, but it's a headache to do the weeding down there in between those plants. But never mind, it's worth it. My peach tree is doing well. I think that's the first year it's gonna have its peaches. That's all grown from the seed as well. It's doing very well. The apples are doing well, forming the fruits. The flowers are almost finished. Let's go through this orchard area. That's my, I don't know how to call it. It's a wild version of Victoria plum. It's much more purple and much smaller, slightly less juicy, but it's lovely for drying and preserving. So the tree is serving me well. The dry bed is looking alright. Not much progress on my sweet peas, but they are growing slowly. The ferns are waking up. They're all gonna unfurl very soon. Same with the peonies, they're getting their buds. I hope this cockerel is not driving you mad. There's more bearded irises. Those are bigger variety. They're slightly later to flower, but the flower is bigger. That's the flower bud. That's another peach tree that I have grown from the seed. This one only has one fruit that I can see at the moment. And on this side we have the rest of the veggie area. The rhubarb is doing fantastic this year. For comparison, I can't even back the camera that much. Hold on. For comparison, that's the average size of the leaf at the moment. As I was saying, the rhubarb is doing very well this year. Those are 3 clumps here in a row. The broad beans are doing well, still flowering. I can see on some of them first fruits forming. Let me find some for you. As I said, I could see on some of them some fruits forming already. So that won't be long until I get the first harvest. Let's have a look. That was another experiment. I didn't pinch the growing tips on those ones when I planted them, and that bed I've pinched all the tops to make the plants stockier and closer to the ground. Oh my god, this cockerel is driving me mad. Those ones are slightly behind the other ones, but as you can see, they're all covered with flowers. And there's first fruits forming as well, slightly smaller than the other one, but they are getting there. The wildlife pond is doing alright. There's no sun anymore on the solar panel, so there's no flow. But it looks stunning and it attracts all the insects possible. I haven't seen any frogs or newts in this pond, but one year they're gonna come. Let's continue. This is my main acer tree, quite big, getting lovely green color in the sunshine. This one I'm quite happy with. That's the gooseberry plant that I transplanted in the winter, and I'm spreading it on this chicken fencing. As you can see, probably it's already getting fruits all over the plant actually. So hopefully that's a success. The big part of the chicken area is out of commission for the moment. I'll show you later. The soft fruits and herbs and flower border looks fantastic. All the time plants are surviving, but they need time to grow as well to turn into something like that. It's getting covered with lovely tiny white flowers. In the middle of the day it's covered with bumblebees. Here in the middle I have another specimen of that voodoo dragon lily that appeared probably 2 years ago. That's why I was saying that I suspect it's the bird spreading the seeds. It's actually a nice natural combination. I didn't design it like that. The bluebells all around and the lily in the center. The soft fruits are doing well. This one is blackcurrant. It's covered with flowers. They're gonna open very soon. My climbing rose bush, climb all the way to the top of the post, and I can see it's getting its first flowers. So I would say in a week or so this whole area is gonna be covered with tiny roses. Lavender is growing. That hardly ever have any problem. That's a very old bush. It was growing here when I moved in, which is 8 years ago. The purple sage picked up lovely. In one of the previous videos I was saying that I might get rid of it, get some cuttings and start again. But the purple sage have a different idea. It's growing like crazy now. That's more soft fruit. I think this one is red currant. There's already some fruits forming and the flowers are all over the plant. The spring bulb border is doing me proud this year. At the moment it's covered with bluebells. It does look lovely. There's some irises here and there as well. This construction here is my attempt to move the gooseberry bush. If you've seen the video, I might put the link around the corner somewhere here. I dug out my gooseberry bush from the veggie area and split it into 3. That one growing on the chicken fence, and I've planted 2 other ones here, trying to make a, what would you call it, espalier probably. One of them died, the other one is growing well, getting its first fruits. So I guess I'm gonna have only 1 gooseberry bush to work with, but that should be easy enough to prune anyway. That's more soft fruits that way, but let me back up and I'll show you my new construction. I spread the cable from the chicken fence to the hedge in 2 places, and I decided I'm gonna grow my Chardonnay grapes in full sun over the garden. I think it's gonna look lovely here above the lawn. Every time I'm gonna walk I can see the grapes hanging down. At the moment this one is reaching almost all the way to the hedge. The other branch is much shorter, but it will grow in time. At the moment it's probably like 1.5 meters long. There's more peach trees. All the peaches are grown from the seed. That one over there is the oldest one. I brought it all the way from London, and every year I was getting 1 or 2 more trees and I couldn't bear to throw them away. And talking about the chicken area, this orange stuff you can see over there, that's the fencing for the chickens. They are all fenced in on all sides, including the roof. I was getting too much fox activity on the camera, so I decided they need to be secure. They can't be going outside at the moment, so they have to stay here for the time being. They have probably 5 by 5 meters outside and another 5 by 5 meter inside the coop. So that should be enough for the time being. And we are almost back to where we finished the last video. Just quickly, the gladiolas are growing. I've just noticed now. They are poking their heads through the ground already. And the wigwam with the sweet peas, those ones are growing much quicker than the other ones. So hopefully they're gonna give me nice display. The apple tree, like all the others, is covered with fruits at the moment. Same with the main peach tree. There are fruits all over the tree. This one here is a bit of a disappointment. That's a Victoria plum. I bought that tree from the shop 2 years ago. It almost died last year. This year had hardly any flowers. As you can see, this part of the plant just disappeared. I had to cut it out. There's not much growing here. And despite having some flowers, I can't see a single fruit on them. Maybe one, if I'm lucky. It's such a disappointment. I never have good luck with the trees that I bought. They grow so much better from the seed. So yeah, that's how the other half of the garden looks like. That was the second part of the garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time soon. Bye.